Okay, move on to the big brown case number summary. I will explain 5 points about that. First, the main problem. UPS faced the challenge of determining the most efficient delivery routes to manage over 20 million packages daily worldwide, efficiently and effectively. And second, Orient helps driver make rational and efficient decisions by analyzing factors like road rules, delivery times, and private routes, combining with driver feedback or and manual adjustment to reduce travel time and improve overall delivery efficiency. Third, UPS drivers' road decisions are structured and programmed. Means, in this technology, already have procedure or advanced system that determine the most efficient delivery routes. So driver doesn't need to deliver the package over more than one neighborhood. 4. This structure process help ensure consistently safety efficiency in UPS operation, allowing driver to complete deliveries accurately and on time. Fifth, driver must still exercise flexibility and personal judgment when encountering unexpected situations such as traffic jams, road closure, or special delivery requirement. Means that even though this technology already advanced, the driver also have the authority to running the system.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and now I'm going to talk about the next 5 summaries about big brown numbers. UPS is making strong progress in sustainability through its investment in alternative fuel vehicles and route optimization technology. Next, the company also advancing renewable energy use and connecting environmental efforts with social responsibility initiative. However, despite this effort, there is still room for improvement in fully electrifying its fleet, expanding renewable energy, and reducing packaging waste. Besides, every workday, drivers receive the optimized route on a device called a DIAD before they begin their deliveries. And last, the company continually strives to find the perfect balance between computer optimized routes and the intuitions of the experienced drivers on the ground. Thank you.
Efficiency and safety are really important to UPS because they make sure the company runs smoothly every single day. With millions of packages that need to be delivered, UPS need to find the fastest and smartest way to get them to the customers on time. Being efficient helps save time, fuel, costs, and while keeping customer happy with a reliable service. At the same time, safety is just as crucial because it's protect UPS driver who spends long hours on the road. The company trains them carefully to avoid accidents with safety door system B and the Orion route planner. UPS not only deliver faster and smarter, but also reduce fuel use and support environmental sustainability. In short, efficiency and safety help UPS stay dependable, cost effective, and responsible to both the workers and the planet.
Good morning, my name is Sarah B. Now I'm going to explain the question 12. Would you characterize a driver route decision as structured or unstructured problems, program or non-program decisions? Explain. So in my point of view, I think that UPS drivers' route decisions can be characterized as structure and program problems. This is because the company provides clear rules, procedures, and analytic tools such as the oral technology to guide drivers in making efficient and uniform delivery decisions. These structured processes help ensure consistency, safety, and efficiency in daily operations by helping drivers shave millions of miles of their delivery routes to make the best position decision. However, there are times when drivers face unexpected situations such as route traffic jams or special delivery requests may require drivers to make unprogrammed decisions. Therefore, While most of the UPS drivers' decisions are structured and programmed, flexibility are still required to handle unusual circumstances efficiently. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Udiani. Today, I will explain about a big pro number case study, specifically the 213 question. How would Orient technology help drivers make better decisions? Before I answer this question, there is things that I need to explain first. So, if we want to make a decision, there is a framework or way that we need to go through before we decide. First, we need to identify the problem and then identify the decision criteria and allocating of the weight to criteria. So, what is our main focus? After that, we need to do developing, analysis, implementation, and evaluation. After evaluation, we might have another problem and we need to solve it with the same process. Okay, back to this case. First, we identify the problems. So, UPS need to deliver more than 20 million package efficiently and effectively. Means that the problem is how the driver decide the best route for delivery and how Orion help the driver make decision. So Orion help the driver make better decision by considering the decision criteria and allocating weight to each. Well, in this case, it's not explicitly said how much they consider to each criteria, but the decision criteria is gained from road regulation, delivery times, and most importantly, the existence of private road that actually can be used by the driver. Therefore, Orient main focus is to keep balance on consistency and the most efficient way to make a rational decision. This technology also being developed and implemented by using the APC suggestions or driver manual adjustment. Means that feedback from the driver is needed to make it more efficient and better. The driver could have made a better decision with a better road system that calculates overall aspect like reducing driver time and overall delivery efficiency so they don't need to deliver package in one neighborhood several times. So that's from the 13th question.
Okay. For the next one is discussion question 214. How is UPS being a sustainable corporation? So I think UPS is making strong progress toward becoming a more sustainable corporation. The company has invested in clean technologies, alternative fuel vehicles, and um, smart systems like Orion, which help reduce emission by optimizing delivery routes. However, despite these efforts, UPS still faces the challenges of managing its large global carbon footprint, meaning there's still a long way to go in improving overall environmental and performance. Looking forward, UPS has several opportunities to strengthen its sustainability efforts, such as accelerating fleet electrification, increasing the use of renewable energy, reducing packaging waste, and collaborating with smaller partners on green technology. To next.
Now, I will be presenting the summary for the case study 2, the business of baseball. Big data is changing how football teams prepare for matches and make decisions instead of relying on guesswork. They're making smarter and more informed decisions based on statistics. Managers and players now get detailed information like players' performance, movement patterns, passing accuracies to plan tactics and lineups. Manchester City is a great example. Players spend 15 minutes before their matches, but instead of listening to traditional pre game speeches, the analysts review their past performance, their strengths and weaknesses to make personalized feedback for each and every player. They even studied over 500 corner kicks to show the best tactics from other teams which helps in improving the set piece skills. By combining this detailed information which is available from statistics, including the manager's experience and intuition, it helps in making more smarter and more informed decisions. And we can also see this that by adapting this kind of policy more constantly, that it allows in a more real result which we can see in the field.
Next, data analysis helps Manchester City to make smarter and objective decisions. Data analysis helped them increase their corner kick goals from one set piece goal over 21 matches to 9 goals in just the first 15 matches in the following season. The system supports youth development by helping younger players understand their roles and performance patterns. Ever since they started applying performance analysis, Manchester City, which had over 4 decades of no wins, finally achieved best defensive record and won Premier League titles. Manchester City also organized a global hackathon to develop new data algorithms and simulations using real players, reinforcing its position as a leader in football analysis. For discussion questions 215, what types of decisions are made by football managers? Would you characterize these decisions as structured or unstructured problems? Explain. There are two types of decisions made by football managers. The first is program decisions, and the other is non program decisions. Program decisions are repetitive decisions that can be handled using a routine approach. For example, football managers select team players and arrange the formation based on the analysis of football players' performances during previous matches. Another example is that football managers also assign trainings to improve players' performances after reviewing each of their strengths and weaknesses. Program decisions are structured problems as the problems are straightforward, familiar, and easily defined. Next, non-program decisions are unique and non-recurring decisions that require custom-made solutions. For example, football managers plan strategies according to unexpected opponent moves and motivate players during matches. Non-program decisions are unstructured problems as the problems are new or unusual for which information is ambiguous or incomplete.
Now, I will be explaining question number 216 in the case application, the business of baseball. Describe how football managers use big data to make better decisions, referring to rationality, bounded rationality, intuition, and evidence based management. Football managers can use big data to make smarter and more confident decisions by combining both analysis as well as experience. They usually look at more detailed information like players' performance, which helps them in making more smarter and more informed decisions. It helps them think more rationally because their choices are supported by solid facts instead of just guesswork. Big data is also more easier to work with, especially when managers have limited time availability, because it converts a lot of the huge statistical data into simple information which is easier to understand, and it allows managers to give more proper advice to that of the players because it helps in following an evidence based approach. Football managers can make decisions that are fair, accurate, and based on performance. It does not contradict the manager's intuition and experience. Besides, it works alongside with their intuitions and experience and just tells them when their experience might be wrong. It also might be more, it might reap more huge awards, as in it might be more consistent and it might actually show the efforts on that of the field.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ling Chuan, and I'll be discussing what types of conditions are more likely to influence the performance analyst team's work. From the case application, uncertainty and risk are more likely to influence the performance analyst team's work. I will say that certainty is excluded because certainty doesn't seem to operate under the performance analyst team's work. Certainty means outcome of every alternative is known and certain. Therefore, football cannot rely on certainty because football is random and unpredictable, whether in game events, human factors, strategic design, and many other factors. Now, I'm going to talk about why I say that uncertainty and risk are involved. First, football performance involves uncertainty because football is unpredictable. Just like opponents change strategies, weather conditions, and many other external factors cannot be predicted with complete accuracy. Due to this, analysts work in an environment where they do not have full information about future outcomes. They can study data such as across, tackles, and set-piece patterns, but they cannot fully predict how players will behave in the next match or how the opponent will respond. So, their decisions rely on interpreting patterns from incomplete information, which is the definition of uncertainty. Football performance also involves risk, because decisions have consequences. Analysts make recommendations about tactics, training, and player development, but these decisions involve risk at the same time because it may or may not work. Even with strong data analysis, outcomes are never guaranteed, so analysts operate under measurable risks. And that's all for this question. Thank you. Now, I'm going to discuss whether football managers should use only quantitative information to evaluate their players' performance during a season. In my opinion, it is not appropriate. Quantitative data is objective data, and it only can tell us what happened. It does not reliably tell why or how to fix it. Studies in sports psychology, such as Martin's in Successful Coaching, emphasize that athletic performance is influenced by 4 key factors, which are technical, tactical, physical, and psychological. While quantitative data can effectively measure the first 3 aspects, the last one, psychological, including motivation, leadership, and decision-making, can only be accurately assessed through qualitative observation and feedback from coaches. Data-driven approach brings great benefits. However, using only quantitative data information is inappropriate for evaluating players. First, it is because football performance includes qualitative elements. Numbers can show how many passes were completed, but they cannot measure leadership, teamwork, communication, motivation, or creativity, all of which are essential in football. A player may have fewer tackles but might organize the defense better through communication, something that data cannot fully capture. For example, a defender who makes an aggressive tackle and fails in the last minute may appear to have made a mistake in the statistics, but in reality, it could have been a necessary risk to prevent an easy goal-scoring opportunity. In this case, the data is recorded as a mistake, but the manager recognizes it as an act of courage and smart thinking. Second, data requires human interpretation. Statistics can be misleading without context. According to Peter Drucker, information is data endowed with relevance and purpose. Means that raw data becomes useful information only when it is organized and given meaning within a specific context. To conclude, a main challenge for managers is not just gathering data, but also transforming it into relevant, purposeful information that can be used for decision making. Finally, over-reliance on data can affect player morale. If players feel that they are being judged only by numbers, it may reduce their confidence and enjoyment of the game. A study of an English Premiership rugby union club found that an intense performance data culture let players feel heightened anxiety, reduced risk-taking, and a shift from team-based goals to individual metrics, undermining morale and decision-making. This shows that maintaining motivation, trust, and emotional balance is just as important as tracking performance statistics. As a conclusion, the best approach is to combine quantitative and qualitative evaluation. Managers should use data as a support tool, not as the only tool, to make smarter and fairer decisions. Manchester City's success proved that when data analytics and human judgment work together, it creates a balanced and powerful performance system. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mohammad Shishir Ahmed. Today I'll explain how big data will transform football decision in the future, focusing on 3 key areas: personalized coaching, strategic problem solving, and future talent development. Now, moving to the point number 1, personalized coaching and accountability. In the future, big data will allow coaches to give players fact-based personalized feedback. Players will review their performance with analysts before each match, and after the match, they will receive detailed reports of their movement and actions. This will help every player understand what they exactly need to improve. For example, defenders will use data on tackles, recoveries, and positioning to train more effectively. Next, the second issue is strategic problem solving and improvement. Big data will also help teams identify strategic issues much faster. For example, if a team struggles with set piece goals in the future, data will highlight the problem and guide the solution. A real example is Manchester City. Their data showed they had scored only one goal in 21 matches from set pieces. Analysts studied over 500 corner kicks, identified patterns, and trained players using evidence-based strategies. As a result, they scored 9 corner goals in the next season. In the future, similar data-driven approaches will help teams significantly improve their set piece performance in the following seasons. And finally, the third and last point, building the future talent pipeline. Big data will play a key role in shaping future football players. Youth players will understand their roles, strengths, and weaknesses through data-driven insights. These will support their long-term development and help them become strong first-team players in the future. Overall, big data will transform football by enabling smarter coaching, faster problem solving, and stronger talent development in the future. That's all. On behalf of my group, thank you all for your attention and support throughout our presentation. Thank you.